When I read or hear accounts of Father Dujarié calling those first young men to serve the needs of rural France, I often have a very romantic idea of what was happening. Imagine him sitting around his dining room table with those 18 and 19-year-olds, with their eyes and their hearts wide open, absorbing every word so that they can go out and share that same information with the people they were going to teach. All of that idealism changed, however, when I became a formator here in Latin America, as I gained some insight into what truly must have been happening for Father Dujarié, who was not only the founder of a new group of brothers, but was also its first director of formation. I myself came to formation work here in Peru after many years of service as a social worker and a counselor in the United States. But the people I served, those who had untreated illness, who faced discrimination, abuse, material poverty, mental illness, I couldn't identify personally with their stories. It wasn't until I entered formation work that I could truly identify in a personal way with the journeys of those I was serving. Because I, like all of you who are listening, walked that same road of initial formation in Holy Cross. As I reflect on those first years of being a formator, I realize that to be an effective formator, you must first be a man with hope to bring. As I'm quickly approaching 60 years old, sometimes I wonder what it might be like to be young again. After all, living in a formation community, I'm surrounded by young men who are filled with boundless energy and limitless ideas. What would I do differently if I had the chance to do it again? But then I realized that to be young again is also to re-experience all of the angst of youth, to fall in and out of love, to be inconsistent in my choices, to analyze and question everything, and to sometimes overestimate my own talents and gifts. No, I definitely do not want to carry those crosses again. But those same crosses serve me well today as a formator, because I know deeply a God who loves me, who is filled with richness of mercy and forgiveness and healing. Our young men in Holy Cross, in formation, need a formation in hope. The external demands of religious life, getting up at 6 o'clock on a cold morning for prayer, or juggling your responsibilities, including school and the apostolate, all of that pales in comparison to the inner challenges that we face with growth in our personal and spiritual lives. My job as a formator is to carry the light of hope as these young men I accompany walk that sometimes very lonely and very scary road of self-discovery. And as I'm sure that Father Dujarié did with those young men that he taught and he formed, I use my own story and my own personal witness, especially the joy in my own vocation, to remind those young men in formation that there is no failure that the Lord's love cannot reverse, no humiliation that he cannot exchange for blessing, no anger that he cannot dissolve, for all is swallowed up in victory. Walking in the footsteps of those giants who go before me, Brother Andre Motet, Brother Vincent Pio, both of whom served as instruments of divine providence in the foundation of Holy Cross, I too am a brother and a formator with hope to bring.